So everybody, what we're talking about today, and we had hoped to have like 30 people, but it must be too sunny out because a lot of people didn't show up. But so we went live on Facebook. But we are talking about the National Federation rules and how spirit and dance is, or they call it spirit and dance, but it's cheer and dance mixed together. And Stephanie is saying that, she's from Missouri. And like in Minnesota, we don't have this problem because we have our own state, the way we do things, and we're separate and we don't have to follow the rules for the National Federation. But kind of tell your, like what you were saying, that you're across the border from Kansas and.
Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit about what I have here and stop me if
Okay.
I say too much. But I just think we are all grouped under spirit at the national level and both the state level here in Missouri. So cheer and dance is both grouped under spirit. And I think that maybe, in the 80s and 90s, we were all kind of doing the same thing. We're on the sidelines. We all got our pom-poms. Maybe it made sense back then. But as both of these sports have become more challenging and advanced for the athletes, there's just been less and less overlap between the two. The overlap has really narrowed considerably. So I believe that we deserve at the national level and the state level a separate entity that makes rules for dancers by former dancers or current dance team coaches or people that have their specialty in dance.
And have a
Because that's
vested interest. Yeah.
yeah, because that's not happening right now. So if you look at the members of the National Federation of High School Spirit Committee, they make it difficult to read their bios. I kind of had to go all over the place to find what I have. So if this is not correct, I hope they correct me. But we have somebody from theater, somebody from cheerleading, somebody who coached softball, somebody who coached golf, volleyball, and baseball, another cheer coach, another musical person, someone who coached orchestra, another cheerleader who works for Varsity Spirit, a cheerleader from Hawaii. She cheered in the 90s, a tennis coach, and a U.S. cheer administrator.
So these are the people governing dance hooked on
Correct.
to cheer in the National Federation, and we don't have a say at all.
Correct. We don't have any dance representation that I can find at all. Now, conversely, if you look at the NFH members representing basketball, just for comparison's sake, I looked that up. We have a former D1 athlete, a coach, a WNBA player, basketball player and coach, head basketball coach, referee for basketball. Everybody I find has a basketball background, which makes sense. They're making rules for basketball. So I feel
Absolutely.
so I don't understand how it feels like, dance is really involved over the years. We've got multi-millions of dollars and people going to nationals and other competitions. And it seems silly to me that we are letting or allowing cheerleading people, or maybe people who don't even have cheer experience, to determine the rules at the national level that we must follow.
Yeah, I'm very upset about this, and like I say, I've kind of been under a rock here in Minnesota. I've
Uh-huh.
gotten fired up about this here and there. And
I
and
appreciate
back,
it.
yeah, no, but I mean, like back in the day, I got fired up over it because some Nebraska dance coaches came to me and they were just livid because dance and cheer state Nebraska was held at the same facility, and cheer faced, they only got a half of a gym, and cheer
Mhm.
faced this way and dance faced this way. And it was like not their own event at all. It was not a standalone event. And it was in the best interest of those running the event to cut
Uh-huh.
costs rather than those in the event that were investing their lives in it. So,
Yes.
so I wonder
I
how.
feel like some of the rules that are made that we must follow, for instance, we just got an email last month about the teddy bear sit. This is for dancer. I mean, it was for spirit, but how to get into it, how to get out of it. And I'm just thinking, we dancers don't even know what the teddy bear sit is. Like this doesn't apply to us. We need somebody helping us with the dance side of it. And I think too that the rules that they have made at the National Federation level are very restrictive. And I know that they have safety in mind, and I do appreciate it. But Like, for instance, I'm trying to prepare my team members to dance at the collegiate level. So they're seeing
Absolutely.
what is happening at UDA and NDA and all the DTU at the college level. And as high school athletes, they're not allowed to do a lot of that. And so when I say, how are we going to prepare these athletes for the next level? They say things like, well, they need to learn that at their studio or they need to go somewhere else. We're not doing it at the high school level. But for basketball, for instance, they don't say, well, we don't shoot three-pointers at the high school level. They're going to have to learn that on their own for the college.
Oh,
I just feel like it needs to more closely align and be allowed with safety in mind to do what we need to do to prepare these kids for the next level. And many of them will not go on to the next level, and that's okay. But to water it down so much that some of the rules only make sense for cheerleading and we can't do the things that make sense for dance is what I'm addressing.
I'm actually surprised that this is just coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised that people aren't just livid about it, or are people, our coaches, like, do you hear more people
Yes.
grumbling about it?
I have it appears to me that the people who coach the competitive dance teams that are going to nationals every year and are wanting to advance are the ones who agree with me. And then there are others who are not as competitive and they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, we just follow the rules, then it's an even playing field for everybody at the state level. But the problem is for these competitive teams that are going to nationals, they want to do well at nationals. They want to include the elements that are scoring well at nationals, but it's not allowed at our state competition. And unfortunately, these events are back to back. So we get a lot of schools that don't come to our state competition because they can't alter their routines enough to be compliant with state and national rules before they go to their UDA or NDA competitions.
Isn't it interesting that Minnesota has a rule that we can't go to nationals?
Yes, and we've
So,
been told that before. Like if we question this too much or if we fight too hard, they're going to take nationals away from Missouri schools. So that's kind of always been, I don't want to say a threat. It's mentioned every time we bring this stuff up. So
okay. So I bet that is what's tying people's hands. Are they, and I
yeah.
also feel, with all due respect for varsity and the big players, they sort of own this, don't they? I mean, I don't mean to say own it, but they
Yeah.
are making the rules and they have a vested interest because of nationals, and
Mhm.
they are making the rules for the National Federation.
Well, I wish our rules at the National Federation and state level were more like the rules at varsity. For
So they're not, so
instance,
I'm wrong. They're not making those.
yeah, like
Okay.
I mean, this is a silly one, but earrings, for example, you can wear earrings at nationals, but you cannot wear them anywhere in the state. And also, if you go to nationals, we get emails that you are expected to follow all Missouri rules while you're at nationals. So they don't want to see you with earrings on, even though it's allowed at that competition. The
Okay.
same thing with shoe rules. The girls seem to be more comfortable these days in the half soles because they can turn. We need a shoe under the ball of your foot where you're turning, but they also like to be grounded in their heels that when they do an aerial or something, they can grip the floor instead of sliding. So as an example, in the cheerleading world, they would require a full shoe for a lot of activities and a lot of their stunts, which makes sense for them. They're on a mat, they're on a floor that would work well, and they don't need to turn at all.
No, I know Minnesota doesn't, somebody tried to get us to change our rule. I don't mean to say us because I'm not on the board anymore,
Yeah.
but tried to get our association to change the rules, and people kind of dug in their heels that they don't want to have turners at state. And I don't know why that is, but
Was
that,
that rule, though, made by dancers, or was that rule made by people that maybe don't have dance experience?
no, it's coaches. I was a little
Okay.
surprised they didn't want to go there. It might
Okay.
be for,
They're also like no aerials and stuff, so it's probably like
yeah,
not.
Minnesota is very locked down in terms of, like, our rules haven't changed for what we're doing for a long time. Like, we can't do jump splits, we can't do aerials.
Right. And then, University of Minnesota has an incredible dance program. And
Right?
so I would be saying, how are we preparing these high school students for that level if we're not allowed to do X, Y, and Z?
Mhm. And I would say to that, like, for instance, my dancers, I coach high school and I also do studio and, run a studio, and they're doing the aerials and that in their solos and at the studio, but not at
Sure.
the high school level. So, and I
Yeah,
think,
I have a question about that because we were told if we were ever to make dance a sport, it's an activity in Missouri, that they would not be allowed to do any outside studio stuff, just like basketball can't do club basketball during the season of basketball. Is that
our kids can do, they grandfathered it in when we did it because they wanted us more than we wanted them. So we had a lot of concessions at the time. And one of them was that our kids could continue to train at their studios, but they could not compete during the season.
Okay.
So, but they could perform. Like, for instance, if
Mhm.
we have a holiday show during the season, they can perform, but they may not compete. So all the people that have kids on studio teams, let's face it, most of your competitions are spring anyway.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we're done by Valentine's Day. So it really isn't an issue.
That's
And
great that you got that concession made. That was
we
awesome.
did. And, it's weird because every other sport has AAU volleyball, AAU
Yeah.
basketball. So I think that they can make concessions. And our state wanted us because we were a huge moneymaker. And
Sure.
we didn't go to them. They came to us. I think all of a sudden the Minnesota State High School League was like, because we had tried to go in 2 times and they refused us. And I don't know what happened, that they maybe like went to a state or something and saw that we filled the Target Center.
Sure.
And at that time it wasn't the Target Center, but they were like, cha-ching, let's bring you in. And so every state is so different. I think that's neat in some ways, but I wish there was some solidarity between the states. Like
Yeah, I do
even
too.
like even like where we are with Wisconsin right next door and Iowa and North Dakota, all, on every side of us. North Dakota has different guidelines in terms of what styles they do, and Iowa has like 11 or 12 styles. It's incredible. Wisconsin is they're merged with their cheer there very strongly. So we're just also different, that it would be neat. I think we need to work on this, Stephanie, and maybe put together like a little summit where people come together and
Yeah.
we have this be a mission where we get people to sign up and really want to go for it. And because I do agree with you, there is strength in numbers. And, the stats you've raised, like I love the thing where you're saying at the beginning about the, basketball and the different things, like, why do we have no dance coaches on our
Yeah.
on our National
And
Federation
the
board?
National Federation has a committee for a ton of like water polo, and they have two separate ones for girls gymnastics and boys gymnastics. To me, and they have one for music and speech and theater and all these. It feels like dance is the only one that I can think of in our area that would not be represented in that level. So
We need
I
to
think
be
it's fine.
represented.
Yes.
We need to be represented. Well, just sitting here, I'm thinking of key people who could be involved with this. I feel like we need to get NDCA involved
Yeah.
and maybe do a Zoom there with the NDCA people. And then I would like to invite some people that I probably should have thought of inviting before this, like people that are kind of players in the industry that have been around the block a little bit and
I
might
would love
have
that.
more knowledge. So maybe we can go from, being we didn't have many people show up today. We're not going to give up. I think we try this again and we keep going and try to make it happen. So, and again, I have no skin in the game, but I feel like I have a lot of contacts and would love to help you
Yes. I
with
sure
it.
appreciate all your experience and guidance in this. This has become a
Oh,
mission for me.
yeah. Well, you have a lot of knowledge and I think that's great. And
Thank
so
you.
we'll just start right here
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.